Today we're going over Gumball's 8 most brilliant and most brain-dead characters, from tactical masterminds to total walking disasters. Let's get right into it, starting with the smartest mind Elmore's ever seen. If Elmore had a Batman, it would be Nicole Watterson, except she's somehow scarier without even needing a costume. Nicole isn't just the strongest character physically, she's a full-blown tactical genius. She can run through thousands of life scenarios in her head, like it's Microsoft Excel on steroids, and pick the one that saves her entire family.
Dodge. The floor is now red-hot lava.
You want pure brilliance? Nicole once mentally calculated every single future where she would have ended up miserable. And the result was her realizing she made the best choice possible. She knew that marrying Richard meant she'd have a harder life, but she chose him anyway because she realized love was worth more than pure success.
People will like me?
But lots of people already like you.
Really? Like who?
Like, name one other cartoon mom planning out quantum probability trees while speedrunning existential crises. I'll wait.
I mean, what should I do with my life?
Maybe start living it?
Nicole's battle IQ is just as terrifying. In the Fury, she demolishes her former martial arts friend, Masami's mom Yuki, in a fight so brutal it feels like an anime final boss battle. And in the end, she quickly makes up a plan to save the kids while the whole building is collapsing. Oh, and when Nicole's really pushed, she doesn't just get mad, she turns into a literal demon at the mall, absorbs a taser shot to the face like it's Gatorade, and ages a security guard 50 years just by looking at him.
I wasn't trained for this. Please, somebody help me.
You need help?
Yes, please, I'd do anything.
Nicole Watterson is what happens when a supercomputer grows feelings and learns martial arts. Tactical mind, iron will, zero mercy if you mess with her family. Now, Elmore's Einstein is cool and all, but what happens when you replace all those brain cells with snack cravings? Let's talk about Richard Watterson. Richard Watterson is the human equivalent of a computer running on nothing but pop-up ads. This man has the critical thinking skills of a soggy waffle. Need proof? In The Limit, while Nicole is busy getting all the groceries for the family, Richard's contribution is getting talked into trying to be a man and get the kids and himself candy.
I'm getting candy! She's getting candy!
I'm getting candy, you're getting candy.
Richard's logic is a masterclass in anti-intelligence. In his mind, budgeting means spending every dollar on candy and hoping tomorrow figures itself out. His idea of winning an argument, crying harder than the other person until they give up. Honestly, elite strategy if you're 5 years old. Not so much if you're a grown man with 3 kids. And let's not forget, the only reason the Wattersons live in a house instead of a giant cardboard box is because Nicole exists. If she took a weekend off, Richard would burn down the house trying to microwave a banana. He's also a professional at saying dumb things before thinking. When discussing what to do about his son's energy problem, he blurts out, "Let's go back in time and make sure we never," implying he'd rather get rid of his own son than come up with an actual solution to the problem.
Okay, this is it. Darwin, I'll save you.
Despite all of this, you can't stay mad at Richard. It's like getting angry at a dog who just ate your tax forms. He's so clueless it loops back around into being kinda wholesome. Still, we gotta jump from brain fog back to brain power. Because next up is the certified 4-year-old genius who might actually save Elmore someday, Anais Watterson. If brains were weapons, Anais Watterson would be a one-girl nuclear arsenal. She's 4 years old, still sucking on a pacifier sometimes. And yet she's smarter than every adult in Elmore stacked together. When Gumball and Darwin faced their off-brand doppelgangers from Miracle Star, they did what they always do, panic and flail around. Anais? She instantly figured out the copycat's weak spot. No little sister. Without breaking a sweat, she masterminded a plan that outsmarted an entire enemy family. Imagine being so smart you save your whole family during a lawsuit-level knockoff war and you're not even tall enough to ride Space Mountain.
Are we done here?
Yeah, I think she is.
Anais doesn't just solve crazy problems, she predicts them. In episode after episode, She's the only one who notices when things are about to spiral into a Looney Tunes nightmare.
Why are you holding a basket full of lipstick?
3 colors, $5. It'd be stupid not to buy it.
Everyone else is arguing over how to get Nicole to buy candy. Anais explains the whole supermarket's marketing strategy.
Sell you stuff you didn't even know you wanted. Everything counts, from the height of the product to what it's placed next to.
I want a cheese sandwich.
The music is important too.
And don't even get me started on her school life. Anais skips multiple grades without even trying. Her homework is probably what gives Principal Brown migraines. While her classmates are struggling to remember if 5 comes after 4, Anais is writing full scientific papers on existential paradoxes between snack time and nap time. In short, Anais is a genius trapped in a preschooler's body. And honestly, if she ever turns evil, Elmore is absolutely doomed. But now that we've seen the family's smartest, it's time to tumble into the fruity spiral of pure brain deadness. Brace yourself for the potassium-powered disaster that is Banana Joe. If you cracked open Banana Joe's head, you'd find about 3 marbles rattling around, and 2 of them are fighting. This guy isn't just brain dead, he's turned it into an Olympic sport. During the dumb race, meanwhile everyone else is at least trying to avoid serious bodily harm, Banana Joe charges ahead blindfolded and plows straight through a fence. He slices into banana chunks, then proudly wheezes, "I'm a banana split." It hurts. Not ironically, genuinely. That's his idea of peak athletic achievement. And don't think it stops there. When Banana Joe tries to flex his spelling skills, he tackles his own mom's name, Banana Barbara, and proudly fires off BARABABABANRA, double ARABA.
Rabambra.
Barbara.
Spell it.
BARABABABANRAARABA.
Oh, Barbara.
He isn't riffing. That's genuinely the order he thinks the letters go in. One time, he set out to make a friendship card in art class and wound up gluing everything in sight, including his own hand and finally his eyeball.
Now I'm even bonding with myself.
He yanked so hard the eye popped off while he chuckled. That's what I call a sticky situation. Yet, somehow, Banana Joe always survives the madness he creates. It's like life itself just pities him too much to let him fail completely. He's basically Elmore's version of a rubber duck, bobbing around through chaos, completely indestructible, learning absolutely nothing. Still, for all his stupidity, you can't hate Banana Joe. He's like if pure serotonin was trapped inside a genetically confused fruit. But enough potassium poisoning. It's time to climb back up the IQ ladder. Let's meet the dude who's basically the floating Dalai Lama of Elmore, Alan Keane. Alan Keane isn't just smart, he's emotionally smart, which in Elmore basically makes him a unicorn. Alan's a literal floating balloon with the chill factor of a Buddhist monk and the conflict resolution skills of a peacekeeper. While everyone else is busy arguing, panicking, or setting the school on fire, Alan's over here soaking up other people's detention, liking every hate post on Elmore Plus to buy someone a smile.
I'd be delighted to. Isn't fruit one of your favorite day too? Anyway, Darwin.
And ending the day with a thumbs up and a bowl of spaghetti. Somehow it works. Every single time. Elmore could be 5 seconds away from total collapse, and Alan would float into the room like, "Have you tried being friends?" Dude's mentoring game is next level too. In the decisions, when Darwin dumps Gumball for smarter guidance, Alan casually coaches him through apologies, dioramas, pest control calls, and even an indoor flood, turning chaos into textbook life skills before lunch. Like, how is anyone supposed to beat that? And the best part? Alan never flexes about it. Zero ego, zero self-importance. This guy would win a Nobel Peace Prize and then apologize for rustling the award envelope. He's also practically unbreakable, emotionally bulletproof. You could insult his entire family tree and Alan would just smile, pat you on the back, and offer you a mint. In a town full of emotional wrecks, Alan Keane is walking proof that empathy is the ultimate superpower. But speaking of emotional wrecks, it's time to revisit the legend himself, the beautiful disaster that is Gumball Watterson. Gumball Watterson is a living paradox, sometimes a genius, but mostly a turbocharged chaos gremlin with 2 brain cells fighting for custody. When Darwin looked a little homesick, did Gumball sit down and talk it out like a normal person? Nah. My boy decided the most logical solution was to feed him live worms.
For my favorite little guppy.
Come on, dig in, look. It's delicious.
toss him in the dirt, and blast whale noises at him until he felt connected to his roots. Nothing screams, "I care," like trying to turn your brother into a street trout. And let's not forget, Gumball's brilliant plans usually end with someone getting arrested, hospitalized, or emotionally traumatized. His IQ skyrockets only when it's time to cause maximum mayhem, like tricking Darwin into helping him commit accidental armed robbery by distracting cops while they're literally looting a gas station.
Burrito I've had and I'm still hungry.
Hi, officer. How can we distract you today?
I'm sort of looking for something that could fill me up.
Follow us.
He also once thought the best way to test immortality was to kill a piece of toast, repeatedly. Science at its finest. At school, Gumball's reputation is less bright young mind and more, please don't let him touch anything important. His solution to avoiding spoilers for a movie? Eating Anton alive. You heard that right, cannibalism. And yet, somehow, despite the astronomical stupidity, you can't help but root for him. His heart's always, mostly, in the right place. It's just that his brain, well, it's usually vacationing in another dimension, but enough about lovable idiots. It's time to talk about a villain who went from comic relief to genuine mastermind. Brace yourself for Rob, post-Void. If Gumball's universe had a Lex Luthor, it would be Rob. After falling into the void and coming back smarter, colder, and 10,000 times more dangerous.
To knock off.
Now prepare to lose your brother.
Now we have nothing to play for the whole summer. If we hadn't adopted him, we would have enough money. Are you serious?
Before the void, Rob was a background joke, the dude who couldn't even villain properly. After the void, he became a walking glitch in reality, armed with galaxy brain tactics and pure existential rage.
I said I would destroy you and everyone you love. No, my name is Rob, gosh darn.
The man saw every mistake Gumball ever made, every crack in the fabric of Elmore, and figured out how to weaponize it. In the disaster, Rob didn't just mess with Gumball's life. No. He hijacked the literal structure of their reality, rewrote fate itself, and left Gumball trapped in a version of Elmore where everyone hated him. That's not petty revenge, that's fourth-dimensional chess. Rob's not just planning 2 steps ahead, he's planning 2 universes ahead.
Well, I guess you're gonna do what any hero would do to save the ones he loves. You're gonna follow the remote.
He understands the rules of cartoon physics better than anyone else, and he breaks them like twigs whenever it benefits him. When Gumball and Rob fight inside the corrupted reality, it's not just a battle of strength, it's a mental war. Gumball's throwing cartoon nonsense at him, and Rob's countering it with structured paradoxes. He's basically saying, cool punch, but what if gravity stopped working halfway through? And Rob almost wins.
It seems you've run out of luck.
Not quite.
And fingers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dagnabbit!
Couldn't do it.
If it wasn't for sheer narrative convenience and Gumball's dumb luck friendship power-ups, Elmore would have been permanently shattered and rebuilt in Rob's twisted image. It's tragic too. Rob didn't want to be a villain. The void forced him to see everything wrong with the world, all the plot holes, all the forgotten characters, all the discarded timelines, and it broke him. He's not evil because he wants to be, he's evil because he's the only one smart enough to know the truth. Post-Void Rob is proof that in Elmore, knowing too much can be way scarier than being stupid. But speaking of stupid, it's time for the king of cluelessness himself. Strap in, because Hot Dog Guy is waiting, probably in the wrong line. If brain deadness was a competitive sport, Hot Dog Guy would have multiple gold medals and somehow not realize he won anything.
Lunch.
This dude is so blissfully unaware that even the apocalypse couldn't get his attention. Gumball once accidentally launched him into a multi-day hug that started awkward and ended with actual psychological damage.
Okay. I'll just move his hand very slowly.
Hot Dog Guy? Still smiling, still offering hugs, still somehow convinced that life is one big, endless barbecue. His common sense is non-existent. In The Cringe, Hot Dog Guy agrees to fix the awkwardness between him and Gumball by auditioning for Elmore's Got Talent, watching their humiliating performance together. The act is so catastrophically bad that they literally cringe themselves unconscious and wake up in the hospital.
You boys are very lucky to be alive.
And let's talk communication. Normal people say, "Hi? Hot dog guy?" He makes every conversation he gets into awkward. Every time he bumps into Gumball, their interaction is awful. This guy makes sure you have to stick around on every interaction. You could be sprinting away from a fireball, and this man would make sure you're hit by it if you run into him. Still, it's impossible to hate him. Hot dog guy radiates the purest, most oblivious positivity you'll ever see. He's the kind of person who would thank a robber for boosting his cardio. He's not dumb in a bad way. He's dumb in a life is too complicated, let's just hug it out kind of way. Elmore's brainiest and brain deadest. What a ride. Want to see pure chaos? Hit the next one. Most loved versus most hated Gumball characters. Some of these picks might just cause actual emotional damage. Don't say I didn't warn you.